Hello, hello. We are now live, and I'm actually using the my son's computer chair that my cat beat up because my regular chair over here is broken. So if you see it looking like that, the cat destroyed it. Okay, and and I have my AC on, so whoever is watching, just let me know if you can still hear me. Okay. So I get asked this type of question all the time. Like, what kind of healing? Like, you hear all the time, do the inner work, do the inner work, do the inner work. What exactly is the inner work? And, a lot of people have a lot of coaches out there, I'm not saying any of them are wrong and that kind of stuff, have their perception of what the inner work is. And, I don't disagree. A lot of it I teach in my programs, but I had the wonderful opportunity to hire a coach. I had hired a twin flame coach, but he focused on, him and his wife focused on, I've got to say, Lee and Sherry, their name, focus on connection. And my life changed. After that, like, total change. And the way my practice was, everything just changed. I was like, this is amazing, and this is something that really gets overlooked in the twin flame community, because when your twin flame returns and this person is ready to move forward, let's say your connection is ready. I don't want to say this person because we're not putting the onus of everything on a particular person, right? Not just you, not just them, and so forth, however you want to look at it. But the energy in your connection has become balanced. Okay, let's say the energy in your connection is balanced, and your twin flame comes back and they're choosing to stay. There is a moment in which you and this person decide, hey, I'm staying, and that kind of stuff, right? I'm staying. One of the things that happens, you might have experienced it, your twin flame comes back. There's this fly around here. Your twin flame comes back, they disappear again, they come back, they disappear again. You don't want that. Okay? You do not want that. What I have discovered, and I say it with so much love, I always talk to you guys with so much love and heaviness in my heart, was just how much our relationship patterns, okay? You know what pattern I'm talking about, right? Whatever pattern you've experienced that made connection feel difficult, stressful, confusing. These things come up. Not that they come up right away, they're not noticeable. Okay. I want you to hang in there. I want you to hang in there to hear what I'm going to say. All right. They're not noticeable. All right. So, what happens, as you may know, if you've heard this before, if you have, please comment below. You attract certain folks into your life because of beliefs, wounds, patterns. Like, if you've attracted someone who's emotionally unavailable into your life, then there is a pattern subconsciously, some sort of learned behavior. And I'm not blaming you, I'm bringing this into awareness. There's some sort of learned behavior that drew that person to you. Now, this is not your twin flame. Okay, it might feel like it. You're like, ah, my twin flame, there. If you have this belief that was going on and that kind of stuff. Hi, vibe freak. Thank goodness you're here. Frequency. All right, and so you're you have these particular patterns subconsciously. Remember, your twin is you share subconscious thoughts. Okay, my buddy is flying around here, keeping me company. This one's not staying here for long. Hopefully, the sun is still out. A lot of times they go to the window and I just let them go out. All right. I've transitioned to that, right? Since awakening. And so what happens is when these particular patterns, I'm going to bring some of them up, okay? And some of them might sound familiar to you. These particular patterns are still there. They haven't left. They're still there, okay? Your twin comes. And because these patterns are there and you're unaware of them at that time, or maybe you didn't know it was something relevant here, your twin mirrors whatever it is. And if you want an explanation in a human way, because there's the spiritual, I could give you the spiritual twin flame understanding of things. Some of you might be like, let me stop at the twin flame one. All right. I like to add the human one too. Okay. You can look at it both ways. This really isn't, it's different in a way where the connection is different, in which the universe supports you, guides you, and this person is exactly you, your mirror. Other than that, a lot of the things that happened were there before, okay? With a soulmate connection. They were there. If you ever, hopefully, you're staying, well, I can't tell you how to do your journey. I'm assuming you're here, so you want to understand what's going on and you want to prepare for a reunion. No matter what's happening, you want to understand, okay? And so this is something that's been there that you didn't realize was there. Whatever it may be, I'm going to provide a list. All right. And by having these things subconsciously, energetically, you sent a signal that you didn't know that you were sending. You didn't know. Okay. That says, don't come near me. All right. This might be a surprise to some of you, especially if you're thinking all it is energy and that's it. Okay. I just got to align my energy. Meanwhile, I'm terrified of relationships. I've never had a good functioning relationship. I don't know what that looks like. I don't feel like this person really wants me. This stuff is too good to be true. These are all the stuff. You may know them as fear-based energy. Okay. That's the term in the twin flame community. I call them wounds. I like to call them wounds. Okay. There are other words too. Fear. They come along with your trigger. All of this kind of stuff. Okay. This is the area of my focus. You know, I teach twin flames. The universe came in, showed me lots of stuff. I went through the experience myself, discovered a lot of things twin flame related, such as the balancing of the energy before it became a thing. I was like, is that what you want to call it? I didn't even know it was a part of it. It just clicked and registered just like that when I realized that I was being mirrored. I was like, oh my goodness, this running thing was because I was creating that. Okay. I know some of you take notes, take notes. But you know what? Why? Why? One of the things I know and understand with this connection is because of the intensity of it, it stirs up, and you can let me know the things, certain things within yourself that you didn't realize is there, such as a fear of connection. That's one. Now, for you, if this resonates with you, you know, I won't paint it like everybody's journey is the same. Your intuition knows, you know what your feelings are, your past experiences, and so on. And so if you're saying, Isheen, I didn't have any fear of connection. Okay. I really wanted to be with this person. Like that was totally not there. And that kind of stuff. I want you to really think about this. Really, really think about this. Okay. Were you having thoughts like, I don't know if they really want me. They're not showing me the same thing in return. Maybe they'll choose someone else. Perhaps there was an ex in the picture and you were feeling worried about that ex. You weren't feeling worried about them, but you have all these other thoughts coming up. Like, what if something I've experienced in relationships previously that I could not stand shows up again? What if I become rejected by this person or feeling rejected? These patterns, these beliefs come up even in the smallest ways. And when they do, they affect your connection. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read some comments here and then I'll come back. What if they aren't here yet? How do you deal with it? Because I know I am balancing the energy. Oh, you reminded me. I was going to have a post about that. Now I'll have to post this tomorrow. Totally forgot. Thank you. Hold on. I'll take a sip of my water. If you feel like you've balanced, you're ready. You don't have fears connected to your connection, connected with it. You're able to separate your fears from your connection. And what I mean by this is that when something happens, um, you're not going into certain beliefs like they did this to me, my twin did this, my twin did, like they were like, you've cleared out all that stuff. Okay. You've forgiven whatever you need to forgive, which is very, very, very important here. Very important. I'm going to address that. Why forgiveness is another one. Got to do. Forgive you, forgive your twin. Okay. Because by unforgiving them, the patterns repeat and repeat and repeat. That's one of them that definitely needs to be looked at. So you did all this stuff and you're feeling pretty balanced and you're like, I'm just totally ready. Okay. Your twin is on the way. This is the thing. Like, I've been there. I was like, God, this is too slow for me. And I didn't know things can happen that way. All right. It's like you're staying in the knowing that reunion is here. Okay. Some of it is manifesting. If you're like, where is it? It means it's not here. Is it going to be here? It means the universe gets, is it going to be here? Okay, the reunion, your twin flame, whatever that is. Okay, whatever it is, however it's coming, I should say, however you're saying it, gets manifested. Manifesting is a big part of this connection, and I really don't care what anyone else is saying out there because I've seen it for myself. Okay. I've seen it, I've experienced it, and I know your thoughts shape what happens in your connection. And with anything really, your thoughts shape what happens outside. And there's no way around the laws of the universe. So if there's like this fear of like, what if they're not gonna make a really good partner? Okay. Your twin flame picks up on that as, I don't know if I can be a really good partner. Like there's just no escaping that. You create the reality with your twin, you know? I say, but that is a whole nother life. And I'm not saying it for you to manifest reunion. I say this so that you're manifesting what you want to experience in your connection. Because your thoughts tells the universe what to do, and the universe delivers every time. Okay, so you're balancing, you're not seeing this person. You've got to believe. You've got to believe. you know when I see twin flames come in, this person, client of mine, is in the believing, is just totally at peace, is not asking when, where, what, just like nothing. Okay? Like literally nothing. They're in the nothingness, but feeling really good. in the nothingness. And then their twin flame shows up, usually during a time they weren't aware of it. Like checking the text, it came like an hour ago, the email came like 3 days ago, things like that, because they weren't looking for it. They're just kind of off doing their own thing. But one thing for sure is that inner knowing. I just know what I know. I know what I know. I don't know why I know it, but I know it, kind of thing, right? Patience is a big part of it. Really believing in it is a big part. I know it gets hard when you can't see it in the physical, but this is one of the areas that I help with, is trusting your inner knowing, trusting manifestation. Okay, not with your twin flame. Mm-mm. You trust your inner knowing with your twin flame, but if you're not quite there yet, begin to practice on other things. Okay, and when you can see how well your intuition functions, like when you get on board with that, then bring it into your twin flame connection. That is, if you're having a really hard time seeing it and understanding it, then you've got an intuition thing going. Okay? This is a big part of the journey, is trusting your inner knowing no matter what. And some of you might be like, I did that for years, 𝐿. I didn't see anything. Okay? And very I have a lot of compassion for her. I wasn't there during those years, you know. I would have liked to be. And then you could have talked to me. I wasn't there during those years, but I'm going to share with you the underlining. If you heal through these, great. If you haven't, I really want you to consider these for you. The universe is always saying for your twin flame too. You always hear, don't think about your twin flame. It's all within. Don't, all this kind of stuff. But I share with you what the guidance that I receive. And you may have a different guidance. Go with your guidance, okay? Go with your guidance. That your twin wants to come in, okay? They want to follow their inner guidance when they have enough push towards it. Maybe the universe will leave them alone for a little bit, but when it comes in, okay. So I'm hearing from the moment they met you, this person met you, they were like, "What on earth is that? I feel like I found the one." Now, you might not believe that because perhaps there wasn't a conversation yet, and you're not sure if there's going to be one, but there will be one. This is another thing about manifesting, is to let go of any beliefs we don't want to create. Gotta let it go. Okay. Saying, I don't think they will. No, uh-uh, uh-uh. Be very mindful of what you're saying, or just don't say anything. Clear your thoughts completely, because they can get in the way. They definitely can. All right. So patience is a very big part of it. And trusting. Okay, that's what it is. By the way, 𝐿, what is balancing? All right, balancing. Why do we call it balancing? Um, this just gave me an idea. I'm like, I kind of want to call it something different. Maybe something will come to me. Maybe I'll stick with balancing because that's what is familiar with all of you. And so, balancing is when you're feeling at peace. You're just at peace with everything about your connection. You're just totally at peace. Okay. What it does, I have several different techniques for this. I do have to mention, I didn't get a chance to put the link for my course, which I'm going to include down below. I have different tiers. so that you're able to find whatever is suitable for your budget. I'm opening this up because I really, I cannot go into a lot of the things that I would like to here because it won't serve you. Okay. So I have different suggestions for balancing, for ending obsessive thinking. I do a lot of work with the subconscious mind because to me, you can't just talk yourself out of things. The thoughts you're having, they are there for a reason. The obsessive thinking is not something that's just going to magically poof, let me talk to it and tell it to go away. It's going to find a way to come back up again because there is a reason why that's happening. Okay. And once you get to that root, you heal it just like that. Just like that. You know, it goes. It goes away. I have people that tell me, Isheen, what on earth did you do? I've tried all these other programs and I keep looking and looking. I can't seem to relieve this obsessive thinking. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I get to the root of it. There's nothing about I'm not sure what other people are doing out there. The coach that I work with talked about connection, which I'm going to help you guys with. This is the purpose of this video. But you get to the root of it just like that. It's like, whoa, what just happened? Okay. So once you eliminate all of that, the obsessive thinking, the worrying, the fears, you're feeling balanced. You're feeling, I want to say zen. You're in total peace, calmness, okay? With no thoughts. No. Or with the right kind of thoughts, but no thoughts. And just like that, your twin pulls in closer to you. Just like that. But if you've done all of this stuff and you're like, but there's still, remember, they share your subconscious thoughts. Okay. I'm getting to it. So let me take a look at some more comments. I see it everywhere. And some say it's more than being present. I have no idea what balancing is. What do you do? Well, there you go. And total zen, peace, no thoughts, just being, right? And the same, I always have to bring up money. If you're trying to manifest money, it is the same thing. Your life completely changes. That is, I have a course coming out too on that one. I'll be talking more about manifesting because all this goes hand in hand. And I come across many people on this journey who are just like, I don't have the funds. And I'm like, you know what? This is a journey of abundance. Abundance. So keep a lookout for those. I'll have videos on manifesting coming out soon. All right. OMG, I caught you live at Forgive Your Twin. Guess what? Last night I pulled up old stuff and blocked him again. Okay. This is why this live is here. All right. This is why I'm doing this live tonight. As I started again hating him, I have somebody that walked in here. Last night, I swore I was done, but here I am again. Can't make this up. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. But isn't believing in it an expectation of outcome? What's the difference then? Oh, good question. I love this. I love this. Okay. You know, I call it aligning with your soul. Okay. Your soul, your intuition. This isn't anything here in the mind. It's like you trying to convince yourself, you trying to, no, your soul is talking to you. The universe is telling you things. I don't know if any of you have experienced it, but well, I'm clairaudient, so it's all day, all day long. I would hear or all kinds of guidance, or maybe you feel it too. This is what you're aligning with. So it's not something, what you create through your thoughts. I guess manifesting, let's say manifesting, anything in this connection is from a soul level, not here. Okay. It's like what you know and feel on a soul level. And the things that you desire to have, that is your soul saying it's possible for you. No matter what it is in your life, the things that you feel you really want to have. Excuse me. And guess what? Your twin shares subconscious thoughts with you. So when you believe these things are possible for you just by believing, yeah, I know. This is what I like to experience. Guess who picks up on that? You know, if you've ever had a moment, I don't know if you guys had a moment in the beginning, right? It happens somewhere towards the beginning where you're like, wow, how is it this person just gets me? How is it they're doing these things I've always wanted? Like how? It's like they're in my head. For me, I was like, it's like he had been looking at me my whole life through a mirror. Did you have that experience? Did you have to tell your twin to do that? You didn't have to tell your twin to do any of that. Okay? This is what happens in this connection when you get fear and your energy. I want to say in control, but I don't like the word control. Control sounds like a when you balance those, you know, one of the things that just breaks my heart on this journey, breaks it, is when the ego gets the best of the connection. And the ego is so strong and it says all kinds of things. My twin is this, they're that, they're this. And your twin, if this was you, maybe you were guilty of it. You know, I was guilty. It's fine. I totally understand. But there are things that you want to experience. You're like, but I really want to have a connection like this. You can have it if the ego, when you get the ego out of the way, just by knowing just that. Because again, I want to rephrase this. I want to bring you back to this. Did you have to tell your twin to be that particular way around the time you first met or you first knew there was something about this connection? You didn't have to tell them anything because your twin is your you share subconscious thoughts. And so that's what that is. So it's less of I'm gonna create everything in my mind and all this kind of stuff. And it's more on a soul level. It's like an inner knowing that you just have it. It just is like it's here and unfolding. Okay. All right. And then your twin goes through whatever experience they got to go through, and the universe jumps in and is like, yeah, well, you know, hey, twin, Miss Amway says she wants to experience this, and this. So you better shape up. You better shape up, buddy. Like, I can't make this stuff up. You really got to know just how much the universe is there for you. And those universal laws never stop. Like, there's no way around them. There isn't any, you know? So when we have thoughts that don't align with what our soul is letting us know, or what we feel we'd like to experience from a soul level, we can't get to that because the universal laws do not stop. They just don't. All right. So it was one of the hardest things for me to accept because you know, when the ego was just saying whatever, I was like, universe, can you cut me a break here? They were like, no, nope, he's you. So I knew I had to clean that stuff up. Okay. You really got to clean it up when it comes to this connection. Okay, because it affects this person. And I know it's hard to see because in the physical, you're like, oh, they're doing this. You're looking at any time you're looking at the physical and you're telling yourself that this particular thing, because you can see it, is happening, it creates more of it. Okay, can't go by the physical. You just really can't. All right. I felt something different about my twin flame the first time we were intimate way before separation. Okay, I'm at peace right now since surrender. All right, awesome. I think your 3D situation can keep your twin flame from coming in completely. 3D, what is a 3D? I need more clarification. I think your 3D situation, what do you mean by that? I'm curious to know. All right. And thanks for the heart. You're really good at healing. You're so good at knowing what needs to be healed. And I owe my moving into a place of Zen to your guidance. Thank you so much. I love that you mentioned that. We have really great sessions. The sessions are they're golden. I can't even describe the sessions, but they really are. And when you connected within, but not physically, and you have dreams about them holding each other, what is that saying and meaning? When you're connected with them, but not physically, and you have dreams about them holding each other, your dreams carry messages for you. Either you're seeing the future, past lifetime experience, another timeline, or just simply a message, or they're thinking about you, or reunions about to happen. So now you're dreaming more often about them and that kind of stuff. There are messages through dreams. Whatever you feel on a soul level, whenever I hear about a dream, I normally ask, and I'm asking you, Randy, what do you feel the dream was about, was telling you? You can tell. If you can't, because you're not quite connected with your intuition and you're not sure which one is your stronger you know psychic ability and that kind of stuff, that's okay. I am a believer that when we ask, we hear it or feel it. Okay, if you're not sure, or that first feeling about it that comes through, you're like, oh, I felt like this was happening. It's right there, whatever it is. Okay, your soul literally, or your inner guidance, or higher self, however you look at, will tell you what that dream is about. And what we usually do, if you don't catch it right away, because you got to get really good at catching it, and be like, oh, that just happened, is the first belief you have before you question it, because that's ego. Okay. And believing that. So, what do you feel the dream was telling you? Okay. All right. So, that's the response to that. All right. So, well, my response, it's whatever resonates with you guys, whatever resonates with you. Okay. And so, coming back to this, what I find that happens on this journey is the fear of connection. What if I get my heart broken again? What if someone does this again, or something like that? Any of these beliefs, society beliefs, like, don't shoot the messenger, okay? These are some things you might have heard, like all men cheat or something. Women are angry, anything like that, where society had implanted these beliefs that are not true, or even about other cultures, other race, you name it. Twin flames come together. They have such compassion and love and care for one another, but they're from different religion, for example. I don't know. This is just an example. And then so the media will portray whatever about certain nationalities and things like that. That can sneak up in your connection as well. All right. So it's a lot of the things going on that you're not aware is happening, that gets picked up by your twin, who experiences it as if it's their own fear, because this person is you. All right. So this is why I do not bypass this, because I've seen it over and over again. What if they do this? I don't know if they're, and it hurts the connection. Okay. And people get really frustrated and feeling like I don't know what to do, because this goes a lot more. Balancing your energy is certainly one. I will say it time and time out, time again. There's more that goes on, because when we haven't quite experienced a loving connection with a partner, there's fear that comes around that. All right. And while you are healing, this is what's going to happen. There's healing on different layers. Okay. And I'm all about the healing. So if you, I'm okay if you leave my channel and stuff like that. I love you guys and I don't want you to leave. I know there's others that are saying you don't need to heal. I know, I get it. If that resonates with you, by all means, please let that be for you. I am all about the healing, all about that, because of the patterns. I always you'll hear me ask about previous relationships. And there's a reason why I do that, because you're breaking free from that. Whatever it was that made connection feel difficult. And I know that person was karmic for you. They were just showing you lessons. Have you learned them? Have you learned these lessons? Have you developed confidence in connection? Have you allowed yourself to be vulnerable and fully seen by your partner, by anybody? Have you let go of people pleasing and being afraid to say no, or shying away from really showing who you are out of fear of hurting somebody? Has any of that, have you healed through any of that? Because your twin mirrors you. Okay. Now, before some of you say, what are you trying to say? I have to be perfect? No, you do not have to be perfect. You're feeling balanced, you're a Zen, your twin comes in, and a part of your twin coming in is that these fears come to surface, because that's what this connection does. It's going to pull them out of you. Okay. And what I want you to get really good at doing, I'm going to give you one suggestion here. Okay. That's going to change everything. If you can really zone in on this, is to let go of making it about your twin flame. Okay. So when the fear comes up, I know, I was there. I didn't understand it. I was like, universe, I can't deal with this. All this bottled in fear that was unhealed, because your connection had unhealed wounds that caused you and this person to go, if this is you, if it resonates with you, if you haven't looked at those, I share it with you because I see it time after time. If you haven't looked at those and healed from it, it's going to surface when your twin flame returns, because this connection is intended to help you see patterns that are out of alignment with the highest version of yourself. Okay. And there are these particular wounds. Wounds don't go away on their own. We can't talk them to leave. We actually got to take a look at them and break them down and have it no longer a part of our story. Okay. And so this thing happens, stuff comes to surface. And the last thing you want happening is your twin is like, I don't know, I can't do this. Let's just be friends. And then next thing you know, you don't hear or see them. Okay. So this particular guidance that I was given is to not make it about your twin. Okay. So when you're feeling triggered, what are we doing when we're triggered? They did this, they're doing this. Oh my goodness, this is what we do. Some of us, if you don't do that, that's great. Okay. That's truly great. If you're like how I was, They don't want me. They don't. I feel rejected. They're rejecting me. All right. So you're making it about this person. You've included your twin flame in the belief that you're having in this moment, that your ego, that's another one too. All right. Truly worth putting in check. The ego. That the ego has a life of its own. It's not your imagination. Okay. And so when you do that, they're rejecting me. Number one, it's being manifested. And it will look like they are rejecting you. As long as you're saying something like that to you, to yourself, they're going to continue to do that or appear to do that. When what's really happening with them is that they're like, I say them, that with you, the other you, is that this person is like, I want to come in, but something makes it hard for me to come in. Like I don't know what it is. I can't explain what it is. It's like there's this wall. It's like I just can't, you know? And if the energy is off, forget it. They're running from that energy. It's just way too much. Okay? Remove them from your story. Remove your twin from the story. I feel rejected. Not they're making me feel rejected. I feel rejected. Why am I feeling rejected? What wound is coming up here? What am I remembering from back then? I know some of you are getting where I'm going at with this. I do a lot of inner child healing, a lot. Okay. Not the way that you know. This is different. And you heal it from there. And so you're being super mindful of what you're feeding into the connection that you don't want to happen. Okay. So the other part of this guidance, one is that you leave this person out of it because now you're manifesting it and you're hurting them. Okay. You're hurting them and you're hurting the connection. When you are the one who's triggered and you're saying that they're the reason for it, it is likely that's not their intention. And this is not twin flame related. This is with anybody in your life who you feel is doing something to you. I know it might look like that. It might really look that way. But I have a say that people, lots of people are operating according to their wounds and understanding of the world, and it's not their intention to harm you. But when we tell them you're doing this, it hurts them and it hurts your connection. So that is something I share with you that I was just like, universe, thank you for that. Thank you for that. It would have never crossed my mind. And who knows, maybe after this video, some more people are going to say it. I don't know. Because I discovered a lot of this stuff on my own, and then people started putting names on it and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So this might be one, you know? And I actually don't mind. I'll be honest, because we're all out here and we're all connected. We're part of the collective, right? We are. We're part of the collective. I don't have any I have to say, I don't have any feelings towards whatever anyone else is doing out there and stuff like that. And whoever you feel guided with, you know, I will emphasize this to for you to get the healing you need. Get the healing you need. Because this is a really intense connection. And you might be like, well, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't want this. Before we start talking about soulmates, like it was easier with the soulmate. Was it really? Was it really? Okay. Maybe a high level one. Maybe. But was it really? Okay. This is what your healing is: connection. How you've experienced connection with a person you feel connected with. Allowing yourself to open up to them, to receiving connection, and then wait, you're opening up to them feeling connected with you, and you allowing them to feel connected with you. Okay. All right. Thanks. It makes sense what you say because I felt the dream was showing me in the future Thanks, right on point. Appreciate you. You welcome, Randy. How do we talk about what caused our separation once the twin flame comes back? Just talk about it. All right, hold on one moment. When reunion happens, what I've observed, what I experience and observe is that you and your twin talks about these things. Okay. There were a lot of unspoken things, misunderstanding that took place because you weren't able to talk about things. All right. Especially when there's healing that's been done. Oh, excuse me. And it feels easier for you to open up. Now, what you're talking about are your experiences without accusing anything. Okay. When you talk about the connection, you bring up what you've been going through. If you're judging this, it's likely you may have judgment return to you. Let go of judging your truth. You're experiencing some things with this connection, and they are too. All right. We have to get out of believing it's one sided. It is not. It's not. All right. The fears are similar, different experiences and all this kind of stuff, but it is not one sided. And this is simply what you're doing, bringing them up, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're allowing that to happen. Okay. I know some of you might be like, I don't know, Isheen, I don't know. Yes. What I've observed that happens is when we hold on to what happened in the past and we have a fear of letting it go because what if it happens again? This is when things start to get rocky and complicating. Okay. I had mentioned forgiveness is super, super important. Super important. And how can you forgive someone who hurt you? I truly get it. I get it. How on earth can you forgive? Here's my question. Here's my answer to this is around the time when you and your twin flame were interacting, are you the same as you were during that time? Have you healed and grown and evolved? When you and your twin met, were you in a wounded version of yourself? And you're experiencing connection through that wound. Because this is what happens when you meet your twin flame. It's likely you didn't know that this journey was going to take you on some sort of healing and ascension path. All right. The connection was going to show you things within yourself that was there previously. Okay. For you to really see them and start to work through them. Because that's what it does. When you and your twin flame met, it's likely both of you were in a wounded version of yourselves. And if you had known how to do connection, how to be in connection differently, how to show up as your most authentic, vulnerable, um, open hearted, letting go of judgment, minding the ego, having a balanced energy. If you had showed up with all of that stuff, you would have had a different outcome. But you didn't know that. And this person didn't know that either. You know, for me, the healing is not one sided, it's both two sided. It's the two sides of you. And then usually when the twin flame comes back, you'll feel it. Once you're healing these patterns within yourself, if you want to call them blocks, some people do, and that kind of stuff, there's a change. Okay. These are the things that I hear. My twin is a lot more in soul. So you thought you were the only one in soul, right? No. All right. And so you just simply talk about it. and work through it, work at releasing it. Once you get that off your chest, now heal that pattern. I like going subconscious to break free from it so it doesn't reappear again. Because as long as whatever belief you have from the past is still there, it's going to recycle and show up and show up. And you don't want that, right? By 3D situation, I mean your life. You have nowhere to stay, or you live with your ex, or some kind of situation that can be unfavorable. Maybe it's a block for you, but it wouldn't be for someone else. It definitely is. It definitely is. You are right. The 3D situation. This is one of those things where I like to remind anyone going through this to be patient. You know, however your journey unfolds, because to clear up these 3D situation is not always easy. You know, if we can snap our finger and it's all clear, sure, great. When you're balancing your energy, it helps your twin flame clean up whatever's going on, karmic, learn whatever needs to be learned, any of that kind of stuff. Okay, have patience for that. And I know you might be like, well, can I, if you're thinking, can I really, are they really going to? See, that right there is a thought that needs to go. You've got to believe. You really got to believe. Because the moment you're like, are they really going to clean that up? I'm not sure if they will. They chose that person. Guess what? Manifest them choosing that person over and over and over again. And so when you remove all of that, there's no energy. There's no manifestation telling them to stay there. Okay. And it takes time to clear that up. Now, if you heard from your twin where they're like, I'm giving this person a chance and I'm not coming back, this person is my person and all this kind of stuff. Number one, ask yourself, did I have any thoughts that might have contributed to that? Okay. And remove them. You know, when it comes to all of that, like clear your thoughts around it completely and do not feed your energy. You know, this is all part of healing as well. Because the universe will get them. You know, that's the way I look at it. The universe will get them. All right. So you better get out of the way and let the universe do what the universe does. All right. When reunion is meant to happen, there is just no stopping it. All right. What if you don't want the twin? Good question. I like that question. What if you don't want your twin? I was there. And you might be like, okay, like, really? Why? What changed? It was because of fear. It was because of fear. Okay. Like, I'm making this up. This is in my head. They keep doing this, like all this, the ego stuff, right? And many of you have been there too. I know, I know. Until you realize if it's not happening to you now, she's in Ninja. Sorry if I said it wrong. It's okay. I always say love yourself wherever you are. Love this part of yourself. Whatever belief you have, wherever you are, be okay with that. Don't fight against it. Okay. Many of you know the universe came for me. So for a lot of you, the universe could be sending, or to you too, you know, nonstop signs, synchronicities, messages, dreams, guidance, running into your twin flame, all this kind of stuff just keeps on happening until, and this was what happened to a lot of us on this journey, we're like, this is not going away. I thought it could go away. It's not going away, you know? So you don't have to, if it's not you in this moment, choose your twin. But instead, take a look at any fears you have about connection, any fears you have within your connection, because and you're not doing it to come into union. Okay, you're doing this because this connection is showing you something. Like when an emotional upset happens, it's likely it's something that's been there before. All right. It could be a fear of relationships, a fear of getting hurt. If these things come up, really begin to look at them. Do this for you. Do it for you so that you get to experience a deep loving connection with a partner who reciprocates these things to you. So take a look at whatever is coming up. All right. And hey, Delu, everyone's journey is as unique to them as their fingerprints. So certain things may have different effects on their journey than others. Exactly. And this is why you connect with your soul. All right. This is what I do in sessions. Like, what are you feeling? Let's connect with whatever within yourself and get those answers, because your soul is the one that's guiding you. Okay. And I've been much calmer within my union and have been noticing he's reaching out more often. Yep, absolutely. So I left other men for less. I cannot give him a free pass. I respect myself. I would rather a high level soulmate. Okay, all right, understandable. And no, it wasn't. I don't recall what that response was. Click the like button. All right, thank you, Elizabeth. I agree, because when I met my twin flame, I was separated from my husband, going through a divorce. In the past year and a half since we've been separated, I've been doing a lot of healing. Excellent. Now I'm divorced in an entire different mental space from when we first met together. So we were together. What happens if you give it all up to God? Do that. Give it all up to God. All right. Hold on one moment. What is it? Hold on. All right, there you go. All right. Do that. Give it all up to God. Okay. It'll work. What all right, this is my son walking out of the room now. He came in for a charger. Okay. So your fears are important. Your fears and your energy. God's doing something for you. God is God is you. God's in you. Okay? Because you're a soul. You know what you're here for. You know, like, you have an idea how things are unfolding. Maybe God delivers you messages, gives you dreams, is helping to guide you. But fear and energy and thoughts get in the way. Okay? These are the things to look at, for you to look at, so you can get out of the way. All right. And I was there too, back and forth nonstop for years. Now, after a lot of healing, I fully realized it's not going away. I surrender, and most of all, he is me. Yep. My twin is my mom. My twin is my mom, and I'm hurt that she loves me in private and not publicly. I feel that she is ashamed of me. Okay, that's a little different there. I'm not I'm not going to comment on that. If you're feeling that intuitively, this is your journey. This is just a little different here. And but I do want to point out, feeling ashamed of me, I don't even feel like I can speak on it, but because I just can't speak on that. The feeling of being ashamed in a connection is usually something internally being mirrored out. But I'm just not going to comment anymore. For me, like, when it's in the family, I feel like it's more karmic related than it is twin. But again, your intuition, whatever information it tells you. Okay, I thought that you don't have to choose them, right? But you will be free from all this when you're balancing. So choosing a soulmate is fine too, with balanced energy. It is, especially a high level soulmate. Here's my experience, and it may be the experience of some of you out here. The universe just doesn't stop. All right. The universe doesn't stop. And so for me, I've been there. I've been there where I was like, you know what, universe, you made that choice for me. I didn't make that choice. I'm going elsewhere. It literally felt like I was living a double life, that I wasn't being honest. I wasn't being real. I couldn't show up 100% in the connection with someone else and that kind of stuff. I've had, I've been through some stuff, had a high level soulmate who wanted to move the connection into a relationship, but couldn't understand why I wouldn't do it and things like that. Even during that time, I wasn't even thinking about my twin. I just knew it's like when you meet the one, that's something that just doesn't go away. When you're like, wow, what is it with that connection and the universe and all this, that like, it's like even in the back of your mind, you're like, what if I had let go of something? Or there's always this pull. I don't know. I can go on and on about that. For myself, I didn't like the feeling. It wasn't even so much I was lying to them, I was lying to myself. And I did not like that feeling because the universe, like I mentioned, it never gave up. And then I had to just come clean and be like, listen, I'm not going to do this to myself. I'm choosing my path. Okay. Because it's about choosing your path too. Sometimes, well, a lot of times, we got to let go of it being a relationship. These wounded parts of ourselves that was in relationship keeps coming up. And in a soulmate connection, you can get away with them, with the fears and the worries and that kind of stuff. But does it build a deep connection? Maybe. Does it deteriorate the connection over time? You know, when you're healing, you're doing this for you, and everything else is gonna get put into place. Is going to happen for you. And if you're aligning with your soul, your twin is definitely coming back. All right. And it is not fear. I would rather be alone than be with someone who placed me through hell. I do not have the urge for him anymore. It is just that the respect I have for myself will not allow me to. Okay. All right. Totally understandable. Put you through hell. Like, you don't have to answer, but the experiences that you had, that hell thing. Okay. Um, I recommend taking a look at that, asking yourself, what brought this into my life, and working through healing that. That's my suggestion. All right. I don't know the full story, but that is certainly my suggestion. Tolerate BS from anyone. Okay. I just want to do my soul work. Your parent is highly unlikely to be a twin flame. I truly understand this one. But he keeps popping up. He even became ugly to me, yet I still love him, but I would rather not see him again. What comes to, I'm not downplaying anything you've experienced. Energy and thoughts have a lot to do with it. Okay. Again, heal whatever it was within you. You can remove him from the story and say, okay, what was happening in me? Was I there for myself? Was I truly there for myself? Okay. Did I put him before me? Any of those things. All right. Was I, this is the other part. Was I understanding? Okay. I won't go too much more into your situation because I certainly don't want to downplay it. One of the things that happens in connection is that when a person opens up, this is another thing for healing. Like, I'm all about connection. I'm all about connection. Looks like I am sweating here. I have the AC on low so I can focus here. Um, when a person tries to open up to us, okay, they attempt to, doesn't matter who it is. What is the first thing we're likely to do? If this is not you, again, this is not you. If you can relate, then you will know what I'm saying. someone's trying to open up, and now it feels like it may be some sort of attack. And we're like, why would you say that? That's not me. Why would you think this way? Anything like that. Okay. I'm not saying it's you. I'm just bringing this up, part of this live. Is healing connection, how connection happens. We are not taught. It's not our fault. This is why I say I had the wonderful pleasure of working with this coach, because I would not have seen it. We have a tendency to say, "Oh no, it's not like this." We're seeing our thoughts and our interpretation rather than connecting with the person and hearing them out and asking them the question, "Why do you feel that way? I'm sorry this has happened to you." I don't know. However, it comes out, meeting them where they are at. So a lot of times when we get into defense mode and we're like, nope, 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 that person shuts down. They start doing whatever. They check out, you name it, because they feel unseen, unheard, unsafe. And this is without our realization. Okay? I'm telling you, like, discovering that, I was like, whoa. Okay? All right. There are reasons certain things happen. And again, things happen. When experiencing connection with someone, especially someone we feel a strong connection with, there are sometimes some things that we don't particularly see within ourselves. Sometimes, that contributed to it. Okay. So my work is a lot more than aligning with your soul and balancing your energy. It's also connection, experiencing connection with a person you feel connected with. All right. And can divine mission happen even when you're advancing in age and your twin is a lot younger? Sometimes I feel I'm too old for all this, low. Your twin is you. All right. You're shifting, you're evolving, you're healing. Your twin mirrors this. It's just you. And I know he is me. I just want him gone. I am repelling him. I understand. I totally get it. What is the name of your tarot channel? I do not have a tarot channel. I do readings, but I don't promote them. Um, I just don't. I'd rather you get the coaching and the healing that you need. Certainly, if anyone wants to do a reading, you can email me. I'm happy to do them and that kind of stuff. But I don't have a tarot channel. And so I get it. If you're repelling him, it means you're repelling a part of yourself, but I truly get how you feel. Yeah. Okay. And why am I repelling him too much? The more I do energy work, the more I want him to go away. Ooh, I've been there. All right. Hold on. I gotta go back in time. There's something from your early years. There's something from your early years. Okay. The universe asked me too, why do you keep doing this? Why do you? I'm like, okay, all right, I'm working on this. I'm working on this, right? Okay. So it's from your early years. You know, I'll just share my understanding of it, and it may be different for you. This is a question you can ask your soul. When we're younger, we are taught either by something someone around us keeps saying or observation that love hurts. Okay. That love is scary. Someone says they love you, they're going to hurt you. And so this is a pattern that is inside of you. This isn't something that you're doing intentionally. This is why I do the subconscious. healing. Okay, it's all subconscious. So what happens with your subconscious mind is that it remembers everything, whereas you might have forgotten. And so your subconscious mind became used to things being a particular way and will create that in your reality. If if you're not looking at it and healing from it. Again, you're totally unaware this is happening, but on a subconscious level, and this is what I do with the inner child. Your inner child is like, I'm terrified. Okay. Your inner person is the one running the show. You have your conscious mind that's like, well, I do want to experience connection. And then you have the subconscious, AKA inner child, that says, no, I'm going to get hurt. They're going to do these. They're going to do this and all this kind of stuff. Like, I can't make them go away. Okay. She needs you. Your inner person needs you. And you know what the inner child does, or your inner person, your subconscious mind, what it does is it will choose a partner who's not going to tap into those particular areas within that your inner being is like, I'm too terrified. Okay. So this person is not going to go have you go deep to that, but yet it's a surface level connection. Okay. And perhaps not so much with high level soulmates. If this winds up being the route you decide, you know, you make the choice. You can make the choice if the universe isn't coming for you. Once the universe comes for you, all I can say is no choice. But to heal with the connection. And I'm just saying that, not that I'm wishing that on you. All right. Because your journey is how your journey is meant to be. Unless you truly do want to experience connection with your twin, but certain things keep coming up that cause you to repel him. This is all subconscious, and your inner person is running the show. She needs your help, okay, to heal from those patterns for you. All right. Feel your feelings fully. Yes. Feel them fully. The more I repel him, the more he messages. I blocked him and he keeps finding ways to message me. All right. So I can't answer it all here. I would have to know more. These are just this is what's coming up for me, but I would definitely have to have a separate conversation. Feel free to book. I'm gonna put a link to my calendar below. As she know, I allowed all this BS to happen. I was actually hurting myself by loving on him too much. Now I'm pulling all the energy back. Now he wants it. No thanks. All right. I truly get it. I'm scared because he has in his birth chart a lot of duality, as in being a juggler, Gemini placement. He seemed to always between two women. I can relate with this. Boy, I'm going to have to end this soon. All right. And so, oh my goodness, I can relate with this. It's interesting because I love the Geminis out here. You know, I don't have anything against the Geminis. I will have to say the astrology, I'm not quite sure. I won't go too much into it because I'm not one who studies astrology. I'm just going to share this with you guys. I was like, all right. So my twin is a Gemini, right? So I was like, oh boy, like, this duality thing, like astrology will have you freaking out about stuff, like really worried about it, not freaking out, worried about it. And your concerns are genuine, okay? They're genuine for you. And then I had to really open my eyes because this is just my story, right? My, I would say my first boyfriend was a Gemini. My high level soulmate is Gemini. A friend of mine at the time, Gemini. When I was expressing my concerns, she was like, hello, is she? You forget, I'm a Gemini. I'm like, oh, you are. I had Geminis all over me, all around me. And they were very faithful people. Okay. Very faithful. And my friend was all about her twin, was on a journey much longer than I got on the journey, never was with anybody because she knew her twin flame connection. This is it. This is it. So faithful. And I was just like, wow, I've had an illusion created here and stuff like that. I feel like astrology is a wonderful tool for healing. And am I saying it right? That astrology, I suppose, is a wonderful tool for healing. For example, myself, I'm a Capricorn. We're hard workers, right? It's not a lie. I can work like nothing, where someone else would be like, "Oh, this is too much for me." So I use that as a tool to say, "Listen, I can't do that. So how can I heal working too much and connecting more with others?" So I really feel like it's a great tool, and God overrides everything. Your manifestation overrides everything. And so the chart may say one thing, but I truly believe that the universal laws, the whatever you turning towards, has a greater effect on that. That's me. I don't read birth charts and stuff. Perhaps the birth chart folks, the people who do read them, will be like, "Oh, Sheen, you're completely wrong." But this is my observation, and I love that you had mentioned Gemini too, right? Because that was something for a long time. I was just like, "Oh my God, this thing says the duality, and I don't know if I can deal with that," and things like that, like those. All right, should we bring up that we are twin flames on our initial reconnection? What I recommend, this is a question to ask your soul. Okay? I'm all about your soul guiding you and telling you what to do. What I recommend is expressing what you've been experiencing rather than giving it a title. All right? A title can, well, who knows? Maybe your twin will agree. Lots of people, their twin flame is the one that first mentioned twin flame. Or they've been giving signs that they're aware of the connection, but it just went completely like over their head and they didn't realize it. And so lots of people have experienced that, where their twin knows already. They're already aware, but they just didn't have a title for it. But I recommend that you express what's been happening to you. The dreams, the pool, can't seem to, like, whatever it is you've been experiencing. Can you explain telepathic communication? Perhaps next week. He has multiple important Gemini placements, and he is flaky and has been non-committal. We'll be here forever. I can't go into this. I know when we hear about the mirror, we're like, the mirror is self-blame. I don't really want to use it and all this kind of stuff. What I recommend doing is, I don't know, there's just so little time to explain it, to look for something about this within you. Okay? Because that's what he's showing you. And the mirror is not just a one thing, it's like a multi-dimensional type of thing. And heal that, and he won't show you flaky and non-committal. He won't. Okay. So I just do not see the need for him anymore. Not like before, when I would jump through the roof when he messaged me. He messaged me and I blocked him. I am tired of this. All right. I truly get that. I do. I've been learning of astrology when it comes to twin flame interaction. All right. I would love to hear about it. If you happen to get a channel, like, let me know. And I'll be on it. I'll subscribe. So I want to start on my own YouTube channel, but I have blocks from feeling unworthy and not seen. Mother wound. Do you have advice on how to overcome it? Me and my twin are both distant. I cannot give advice on this. I recommend healing it. All right. Getting to the root of it. Again, this is what I help with. Get to the root of it and break that pattern and rebuild something new that aligns. Okay. A short answer is what I'm hearing. Um, Guided meditation is something that you can do that to help with that. Okay. But if you want faster results and more permanent, Well, guided meditation takes a while and that kind of stuff. Connect with the root of that. Feeling unworthy, where did it come from? And helping your inner person overcome that. And then you feel a shift inside of yourself, in your world, your outer world changes. All right. So that's what I share there. Of course, there's lots of things I can cover on this topic. I picked a few. Again, I'm going to put the link down below to my course and also my calendar. You need to talk. You're ready to heal. Book a session with me. The first call is free. All right. You're welcome. Take care, everyone. Bye.